my name is Belinda Doveston and welcome to the I Ching Cafe and our weekly overview for the week commencing the 19th of April 2021. Woo! Here we are heading into the second part of April. We still have a locked hexagram for the whole month of April, so very static fixed energy, jumping into the deep end, going with the flow, taking the risk, plunging in. So how has the month been so far for you? Right, last week we had hexagram 33, locked retreat. We were asked to go into the cave, to take time out, to rejuvenate, to remove ourselves from a situation or from an experience that is not good for us right now. To reevaluate, regroup, rethink, and then be ready for the next push that is to come. And I really hope that you did take time out, because this week is going to be quite intense. Okay, so let's get into what the I Ching is asking us to pay attention to for this week, the 19th of April. Great. So the first hexagram we have is hexagram 28, Great Pressure. If you look at the design of the hexagram, you have a female passive line on the bottom, a female or yin passive line at the top, and these strong male active lines in the middle. There are lots of energy, and these two little lines on either side are struggling to contain them. You can also take the analogy which is used in the I Ching, that these strong lines in the middle represent a huge lot of energy, like the ridge pole of a house. It's getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier, your beam. And what happens is you just put one last straw on the camel's back, and this under pressure situation, the house can collapse. So this is the hexagram of stress and pressure, okay? Pressure from a lot to do, deadlines, lots of things flying around, lots of things going on, but fundamentally there's a process of new beginnings, of creation taking place. And because that is taking place, there's masses of pressure. So we run the risk of this hexagram of creating a collapse because we don't take action to manage this situation, okay? This crisis, this energy, this flow, this intense pressure. We run the risk of completely collapsing our house because our foundations are needing some work, some reinforcement. So foundations for you can be your support base, how your team is working together, how you're using structures in your life to scaffold up what you're doing. And the other thing is that we can also make different choices about the pressure that we're willing to accept, what we're willing to accept onto this pole, this beam in our house. And so this week, because there's a sense of huge pressure and emergency about what needs to get done this week, is put down everything that's unnecessary. Okay, so we can often get ourselves into total overwhelm and total craziness when we think that everything is important. Everything is critical. Everything is now. And of course, we realize that's not the case. Intellectually, we understand that not everything is now. But when we're in that crisis mode, when we are in overwhelm and stress, we can feel like everything must be done yesterday and everything's late and everything's overwhelming and everything's just too much. Meditate, calm down, deep breathing, get out your list, make a list of all the things that need to get done, give them weightings, critical, high, medium, low, okay? Prioritize them and tackle the things that are high critical. I love the book Eat That Frog, and in that what the author suggests is tackle the big things first, the things where there's a lot of energy attached. And if you did that thing that you're avoiding, what happens is that it releases a whole lot of energy. Whereas what we tend to do is do the little things because we feel like we're making progress, but actually what we're doing is we're parking that big scary thing or that thing that is admin or whatever it is that you don't want to do, okay? The thing is creating pressure. We park that and we deal with that last, but it still sits in our energy, bubbling away and talking to us and making us stressed. So my recommendation for the week is not everything's important, not everything's urgent. Look at what's really critical, mission critical for the week. Prioritize your list, have it written down, put the biggest one that you're avoiding the most that's going to release the most energy at the top and eat the frog. Okay, now this week we have one changing line and it's in the 6th position. This is a very challenging, changing line. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or, make light of the fact that this is a very tough line for us. Because what this shows us is that if we, in a particular situation this week where we're under pressure, the things that are on the dashboard, so this might relate to a particular thing that's on your list or in your world right now. If we do anything more than just dip a toe into this thing, we could land up completely being drowned by it, head covered by water. And the Richard Wilhelm book talks about it's okay to die. There are bigger and more important things than death. No, I quite like my life. Okay, so with the I Ching, what I'd like us to focus on this week is to focus on being very conscious, not suspicious and hysterical about it, but being very conscious of what is the thing in this picture that's in our world now, where to dip anything more than a toe into it would take us under, okay, would completely undermine what we're trying to do, would bring about this kind of state of real peril. Okay, remember the I Ching always puts these huge, intense overtones into the language, and sometimes it can be a small thing, not necessarily this huge, overwhelming, end apocalyptic type situation. Okay, so what is the thing where we should not go into that water? That's a water that's not ours to cross. Only dip your toe in, nothing more, because getting involved might make you go under. So I had this line many years ago for a situation where I was approached for a business deal, and this line came up, and it was quite clear that you could lose yourself. You could perhaps lose your independence, your ability to act, to be creative, to do what you need to do. And so only dip your toe in, nothing else. And I followed that advice, and I declined the opportunity other than just having a discussion about it, which was dipping the toe in. And so think about this week. What is the one thing where there's this thing that's in front of you and it could potentially be too consuming, too overwhelming, and actually it's just a toe in the water, and that's it. Okay, so have your feelers open. This whole process with the I Ching is all about having the signs and the signals up, that if it's in your life and if this flow is yours for this week and there aren't other more important flows for you to pay attention to, that you see the sign come up and you see the signpost and you go, toe in the water. What could this be? Should I dip my toe in? Is this the thing that it could be all consuming and potentially override everything I'm trying to do? Okay, now I know. I can now work with better information, and you can still choose to go in because after all, there are more important things than death. Okay, so as we round out from that changing line, our second hexagram for this week is hexagram 44, coming to meet. Okay, this is a fascinating hexagram because you see there's a whole lot of active male lines and one female passive line that's now come in the bottom. And there's also quite a lot of disagreement about this hexagram. We have the camp of Richard Wilhelm and similar books which talk about this little line coming in the bottom being a little bit of negativity coming in that we can think is innocent and harmless and we tolerate it, but it becomes a very dangerous element. Those who work with the I Ching in a particular way might say this is like the affair hexagram, right? A little dalliance that's just innocent and it's just on the side, but what it does is it over time destroys a whole lot of things. Please don't get superstitious about that or get hysterical, but that's the energy. It talks about the prince having a dalliance with a young maiden and seems all innocent, but actually she has got very strong political ambitions. And so what he thinks is a small power is actually a great power that could come and harm him at a later time. Okay, it's just an analogy. It's a story of understanding this process. Another way of understanding this hexagram is you get a little baby pig as a pet, and it's so cute. And then it grows big and big, and actually it's a wild hog. It's this huge, massive pig. And of course, when that thing runs around your house on a frenzy, it can just destroy everything. So it's about being conscious of things that are coming in, right, that are seemingly innocent, seemingly harmless, but actually can really come and cause harm. And usually they're about negativity, things that are a negative influence that we tolerate, but our task is to then nip it out. Then we have another camp. Stephen Karcher takes a slightly different view. He talks about unusual encounters, okay, the arrival of something unexpected coming to meet, but where they do share a view between both schools of thought is that this is not a relationship set to last. Okay, so when you have a dalliance, it's a thing on the side, it isn't a marriage. And our danger, of course, is thinking that it's something that it's not. So for you, if you're coming across and meeting someone new, it might literally be just a warning to say, enjoy it for what it is, but it's not more than that. Okay, that's just taking one particular view. But I would take the view of thinking about what is the thing that has unexpectedly come into your world, the relationship, the influence, the thought process, and it's not set to last. Okay, it's just a temporary thing and then it moves on. It's not a permanent fixture. And at the same time, being consciously aware of negativity, that we don't accept and tolerate that negativity. So I always take the view that take both views on the hexagram and work with both. So this is a real Gemini type hexagram, this one, where we are working with both sides of the story at the same time. All right, so now you can see the week is quite interesting. We have this great pressure. We have this changing line that says toe only, nothing else. We have arrivals of unexpected, unusual energy. Just enjoy it for what it is. It's not a permanent fixture. And work with this energy. Nip out the negativity. Be conscious and aware of the stress that we are accepting. Put down all the things that are not important because something new is being created. Wonderful new energy is presenting itself this week. Right, well, good luck. Take off the stress. I'll be doing it with you. Keep yourself in check. Stay tuned with your inner signals that tell you that things are redlining and that you're in trouble, and take the proactive adult steps of putting yourself back into a place of flow and harmony. Please subscribe, like, and share. It'd be great to have you on the channel. If you subscribe to the channel or the podcast, you get the episode on a Sunday. And for the rest, if you follow the socials, you will get the episode on the Monday. So see you soon. And thanks so much for being here with me.